morning, family. How are you? Today is Tuesday, the 9th of December. It is a little bit after 8 in the a.m. and I came on to talk about something that we really need to discuss because we're at a deadline. And this is about insurance. This whole video is going to be primarily about medical insurance. I'm going to try to keep it as respectful as I can, try to corral my language a little bit, but if I get thrown off a little bit, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, I gotta be me, you know what I mean? I gotta be me. I can't be nobody else. So I don't mean to insult anybody. My point is to inform. So, family, I don't know if you guys are aware, but we are reaching a deadline on insurance coverage. Now, I don't know, I believe it's the 15th. Is the deadline to change your insurance, to go from this to that and to that and to this or whatever, to add insurance and so on and so forth, to move about in the insurance realm is now. Now, some of you guys are engaged to be married. Some of you guys plan on having children. Some of you guys might plan on having a gastric bypass. Some of you guys might, I don't know, might need a breast reduction. Some of you guys might want to get orthodontist work. Different things. Some of you guys might even wear glasses or might even want to go get LASIK eye surgery. Now is the time to come up with all that. Now is the time. So I believe it is the 15th because 15th is Monday. So now is the time to think about what it is and where you're going with your insurance, because I'm going to tell you why. Now, as you guys know, I told you guys last week that my son is going in to get the gastric sleeve. My son just turned 18. He didn't qualify for anything like that until he was 18, but he didn't turn 18 until November. Well, with my PPO insurance, I did not have a 6-month waiting period where he had to take 6 months of nutritional classes and all this kind of stuff and go on psychological eval and all. You don't have to go through all that with PPO insurance. Now, the way insurance goes is HMO and PPO. HMO means that you are in a group, which means that if you need to get, say for instance, if you need to go on a donor list, if you need certain type of medications, if you need to go see a specialist, something to that degree, it has to go from your primary care physician, whatever primary care physician you pick. In that group, he takes your packet and submits that to a group. They sit, they look at, they take in a number of factors: your age, your weight, your sex, your gender, your race, all these different things. They take all these things into account, and also your economical status. Believe it or not, they look at your earning capacity to a degree. I think it's sad that they do that, but they do. I'm just saying. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just a messenger, okay? And a lot of times when your economic status or your earning potential is low, sometimes they feel as though you're not viable for, to be on the top of the list for this kidney transplant. You're not viable for this experimental drug, per se, as opposed to this, heterosexual male, 43 years old, he has no diabetes, no this, no that, he's married, he has a job, he's a member of, Emmanuel Baptist, this and that and other. He was a sergeant in the Air Force, all those different things. Whereas he going to be on the list as opposed to Tyrell, never had a job in his life, been selling drugs on the street. He need a kidney transplant. He ain't even got no insurance. But yet and still, he down at the county hospital. He needs some help fast, and his mama's cutting him crying in the hallway. Now, look at him on the list, and look at him on the list, and you tell me which one going to get it first. It's going to be some technicality. I'm just telling you right now. Didn't one motherfucker die from Ebola? Motherfucker died right off the top. I'm telling you right now, there are factors. I didn't make it up. This is not something I just pulled out. This is true fact. Okay? And so one thing I admire so much about Obama is the fact that he tried and attempted to eradicate all that and make everybody eligible to get what they need done that's medically necessary. There's not going to be no list. If there is going to be a list, we're going to cut some of the red tape. That type of thing that he did for us. And for that alone, I deem him a success. You know what I'm saying? Because in third world countries and stuff, they don't argue and fight over medical insurance. You know, here in the United States, you know, we the land of the free and the home of the brave and all this kind of stuff, and then yet and still people are, you know, going back and forth over high blood pressure medications. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know they're more apt to giving you a controlled narcotic as opposed to giving you what you really need is a corticosteroid. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, this business is just that, it's business. You know, and when it comes down to insurance, you have to get knowledgeable and you have to figure out what it is that you're trying to do in the long run. You have to sow a seed. So now is the week that you're sowing a seed for that 6 month, harvest. So what you do is you go to your HR department and then you see what your options are as far as insurance. Now HMO is going to be a cheaper rate and premium per month. More times than not, it's a bi-weekly, means that they take out of your check every 2 weeks or they take out of your check every month. You can, you know, figure that out with your payroll department on how you want them to take it out. Now they have non-postal and postal on some policies, which means, you know, for government employees and stuff. And see, that's a lot of what I've been on throughout my adult life, is a lot of government employee insurance. And with government employee insurance, if you're on the PPO plan, they give you a little bit more leniency and they're more apt to giving you whatever it is that you ask for. Now, with a PPO insurance deem you to pay a share cost sometimes. You might even have a deductible that has to be met, whereas I have a deductible of $250 or $350 per year that I must meet before I go and say, well, you know what, I want to get my son gastric bypass surgery, or I want to look into LASIK eye surgery. Now, PPO plans usually go 70-30, 60-40, 90-10, you know, 85-15, that type of stuff. Meaning, insurance is going to pay 80%, you're going to pay 20%. Yeah, we will give you this surgery, but you're going to have to pay this amount. You don't have to go before the board. There's no, you know, people are not going to sit here that don't know. You don't know your background, don't know nothing about your struggle. And they're making decisions on your health. With PPO insurance, nigga, you need to go see an internist. You need to go see a counselor or behavioral specialist or whatever. You just make your appointment and you go. You don't have to go to your primary care physician and say, well, you know what, I think I need a mammogram. You know what, I think I need to go see a nutritionist because I really need to get my eating in order. Well, with PPO insurance, you want to go see an internist, you want to go to a dermatologist appointment, you need to go see an ophthalmologist, you need to go see a cardiologist, or, you know, you need a hematologist, whatever you need to go. With a PPO insurance, you make your appointment and you go. But the flip side to it now, your premium is going to be higher. It's going to be higher. So not only are you going to have a deductible that has to be paid in the beginning, a lot of times they allow you to make payments on it, which is great. But you also going to have a higher monthly premium, and you also may have a share of cost. Your share of cost is that 80-20 that we were just mentioning. So, if you are thinking of getting the gastric bypass, say, you know what, I really want to, you know, I'm 100 pounds overweight. Maybe I'll go ahead and get that gastric sleeve or the Roux Y or whichever one you want to go. Get that PPO insurance. Bite the bullet, go ahead on and accept that drawback of that increased pay, but you don't have no 6-month waiting period. You don't have to deal with, okay, well, my doctor has to deem me medically necessary, and my doctor has to go with my BMI and my this and my this and my this, and they got to put it all together, and I got to make sure I got a back problem, and my breast is too heavy, and my this and that, and I got this problem and that. You ain't got to come up with no knee problem and all that shit when you got PPO insurance. You understand what I'm saying? You make your appointment and you go. That's it. So, the bottom line is, if you're getting ready to get married, whatever life decision that you're going to be making in 2015, you need to make the preparations and sow the seeds now, so then therefore when you're ready to get those braces. And one thing about orthodontics work, a lot of times they don't pay the whole thing. A lot of times they'll say after a year of paying, then we will pay 50% of the orthodontist work. or we will pay up to $1,500, you know, something to that degree. Then you can also get a separate insurance policy from your medical. You can get vision, and you can also get dental. So even with your regular medical insurance, your medical insurance is going to automatically, with all medical insurance, you will be able to go to a dentist for a checkup, cleaning, not whitening. Whitening and cleaning are two different things. Whitening is when you're going to come out and you're going to glisten. Cleaning is when they're going to take this little pot of stuff, they're going to dip it in there, and then they're going to rotate it on your teeth, around your gum line, and all that other kind of old stuff. They're going to probably give you a little fluoride treatment, do a couple of x-rays and whatever. Going to tell you that you need, of course, you need deep cleaning. That's an automatic. They automatically got to tell you that you're going to need some deep cleaning. But let me put you a little insight on it, because I am going to do some videos about it. But if you get into oil pulling, I don't want to get too deep into it because I need to do a video about it. And, you know, a lot of times motherfuckers like to watch and see what I'm doing, so then therefore they can do the remix on my video and shit. But anyway, at any rate, but oil pulling, if you do oil pulling, so let me just give you a little, you know what I'm saying, I'll do the tutorial later on. But let me give you a little insight of oil pulling. You can take an organic coconut oil. That's what I use. I put a little thyme in mine as a little detox, if you will. I put fresh thyme in mine. And you can take any dry herb you want. If you want to, if you don't, it's still going to work. Either way, it's going to work. What you do is you just put 1 tablespoon of this oil in your mouth. As you get up, like when I get out of my bed, I go to my bathroom. I put my oil in my mouth. I'm going to leave this oil in my mouth for a few minutes. Preferably, if you can withstand it for 20, you really, really winning, and you're getting the optimal benefit of it. Now, all while I'm swishing this in my mouth, it's beginning to get thick. It's frothy, it's white, it's all over my tongue, it's pasty. Oh my God, it's gross. But I'm in here, I'm peeing, I'm getting whatever all I need to do. I'm doing all that. Now, I'm even, after I done peed, I go in there, I wash my hands, I'll come back, I'll sit on my bench here at the end of my bed. I'll watch a little bit of news, I cut the TV on, cut my heater on, all that other kind of stuff, cut some lights on, poop, you know what I'm saying, get my twist ready, so you know what I'm saying, when I need to put one up, whatever I need to do, I'm doing all that at that point in time. Then I go in there, I spit that out in tissue, a paper towel or something. You dispose it in the garbage. You do not dispose it in your plumbing system because you're going to mess up your plumbing. I dispose it in tissue. I take a separate toothbrush, not my same toothbrush that I use to whiten my teeth, to really get my teeth on some old close-up type shit. My other toothbrush, my toothbrush that I just use for pulling anyway, okay? Then I brush my teeth with that. Okay, now after I brush my teeth with that, then in case I need to come back and get the sliminess, off my tongue and all that, now I can come through with my Extreme or, whatever toothbrush, Pepsodent, or whatever you rolling with, Aquafresh, whatever the get down is, you know what I'm saying. Now you use your other toothbrush and now you're cleansing and freshening up your breath. But what oil pulling does is if you have any forms of gingivitis, it eradicates that. It helps with that. It also makes your teeth so white, almost like a glowing effect. It also is good for so many different things. It's good for your circulatory system because one thing about your mouth is an open mucous membrane. I don't want to take this into some health and fitness type of shit, but this is something that you need to know. We're still talking about insurance and all this kind of stuff, and a lot of us are riddled with different disease processes, and this is just a homeopathic way to naturally cure some of your ailments until you get that Obamacare or your PPO or your HMO or whichever way you're going. So what oil pulling does is it's good for your circular system, which means your heart, your blood pressure, all those things that keep you going and moving, your circulation, you know what I'm saying, it's good for that. It's good for if you're combating other ailments, you know what I'm saying? And the list is broad, so I'm going to ask that you look it up. You just simply Google oil pulling, and it's going to give you a list of the benefits and all those things about it. It's big and it's heavy. It's one thing that I use, and a lot of people ask me all the time, Auntie, you're just such a young spirit. You're so young and lively and vibrant, because it's certain things that I just put in my body. It's certain things that I stand true and stand firm on. You know, and I'm a homeopathic type chick too as well. You know what I mean? I go all in the alkaline water and all kinds of type of shit. And see, and one thing that I do after my oil pulling is I break my fast, because what is breakfast? Breakfast is break fast, right? So I break my fast of sleeping for however length of time I've been sleeping. And you've been fasting, if you haven't eaten in less than 4 hours, theoretically you're in a fast. You know what I mean? Your body begin to go through a little famish mode and all these other kind of things after 4 hours. Well, I break my fast a lot of times with alkaline water on an empty stomach before I get my Captain Crunch berries, my sausage, my maple bacon, whatever I'm going to roll with that day. I break my fast with alkaline water, and what it does is also bringing in so many nutrients. You know what I'm saying? It's getting you in a homeostatic state, which is leveling off your system. And one thing about alkaline is disease cannot exist in an alkaline state, which means your pH balance is level. And when you begin to balance out your pH level, then your body becomes more homeostatic, or homeostasis, if you will. Meaning your body and everything starts to level out. Your thought process change, your body begin to look different, you have an overall glow. And so many things begin to happen to you when you begin to level yourself out. So, again, on your insurance, think long term. Think about a seed to sow. I might want to get this, this, and this, so I need to make the proper and the prudent decisions now to be able to get what it is I'm trying to get later on. So if you are an engaged couple and you guys plan on getting married in May, then therefore, guess what? You take on the HMO insurance. Now you guys got a benefit of an HMO insurance. He's making more than you, so he take on the PPO insurance. So now once you guys become husband and wife, guess what? You give him a car for yours, he got a car for yours, and guess what? You can use some of your benefits on HMO. You can use some of your benefits on PPO. You can go get your gastric bypass. You can go get whatever it is you're trying to get. And then too, even now, if it's deemed as medically necessary, my auntie's calling me. Now they're actually paying for, tummy tucks and such. Whereas when I got my tummy tucks and thigh lifts and arm lifts and everything, I had to pay money. I had to pay, listen, family, I paid enough to get me a bomb-ass car, as much money as I paid on my body after I lost that weight. I had to, because I had to pull everything back up. You know what I'm saying? From all the stretched skin, all the looseness, all the loose skin, you got to pull all that. You got to pull the gravity back up. And sometimes it costs money. And then during the time that I was trying to get my shit back together, insurance didn't pay for that. But now, insurance will pay. And also, let me also say this, for those of you guys that are also entering into Obamacare, now here in the state of California, they have IEHP and they also have Molina. If you are given the choice, in my opinion, I say go IEHP, okay? In my opinion. Now, in my own personal account, I believe that more minorities and less English-speaking patrons go with Molina. You know, to keep it respectful. Now, if you can take IEHP, take IEHP, because let me tell you, and I know this firsthand, and that's something I read. I'm on the front line with this. I have some people that I know that actually what they did was they got their gastric bypasses and stuff on Obamacare, IEHP, no problem. You understand what I'm saying? And then also, if you have family members that are also under the Kaiser Covenant, okay, they have Kaiser, but you don't. You just got insurance. You end up getting Obamacare. Get IEHP, then therefore you tell your family members, look, I want to get over there to Kaiser. They have a piggyback program. It's a code that they can give you. I know it firsthand. I know people that done this now. This ain't something I'm just done draw out now. I'm pulled out from somewhere. I've actually seen this happen. They got the code from the family member that was actually on their Kaiser plan, that already had a Kaiser plan. They piggybacked onto Kaiser. Now they got Kaiser, even though they have Obamacare and they had IEHP. Guess what they just got? They just got the gastric bypass. 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? Two of them just got the gastric bypass through Kaiser. They had to wait the 6 months. However, now they also got a referral to get tummy tucks and such. Yes, they ain't paid down, they ain't paid the shit. I done paid over $60,000 on work done. Cash money. Run me mine in a cashier's. You understand? So see, now things are getting so to whereas people are able to get things that we weren't able to get before. So if it's one of you and it's something that you're trying to do, then be smart about it. Make the right decisions and the right choices. Sit down with your significant other. Look at all the brochures. Pull all that shit up on your iPad, your phone, your laptop, your desktop, and go through a compare and contrast. This insurance offer this. This insurance offer this. This one right here, oh, you know what? They don't really cover behavioral health. But this one over here covers behavioral health. $10. I can go get me a counselor. $10 each visit. You win. Because everybody needs somebody to talk to that is unbiased. So don't think that, you know what, because I'm talking to somebody, that mean I'm retarded. That mean I'm slow. That mean I got a mental disability. That mean I'm a problem. That mean I'm sick. No, it just means that you just got somebody unbiased to talk to. That is it. But with insurance, $10 per visit, no problem. PPO insurance, HMO, they might say, well, with the HMO coverage, you got 10 visits per year. You pay $5. But instead of you having a 45-minute or hour visit, you might only have 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? One thing about a PPO patient and an HMO patient, they always ask, what insurance do you have? They want to know that off the top. Because the doctor's looking at how long a time he can sit down with bedside care with you. If a doctor knows that he has a PP insurance patient in this room waiting on him, he can go down in there and he can really actually sit down and talk to you for a minute. He's not on no time period, no time frame. He can actually sit down here. He can pull out his little computer thing, go over the medications that you've been taking, go over your lab work, all this kind of shit. He's just not diagnosing and sending you out. But when you come in there, no insurance, Medi-Cal, Medicaid, Medicare, this, you come in there, you know what I'm saying? You know, appearances are everything as well, too. You know, you have to think about things when you go out in the world, when you present yourself out to the world. You know what I mean? You don't want to, you're down, doctor, I don't know what's wrong, but my shit just keep on doing this right here. You know, a certain way, you know what I'm saying? You got to have a certain thing about yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because these are professional people. And you going in there lying to them, you lying to them that they can give you something to compromise your life because you don't want to tell them, you know what, I still got acid reflux. I don't know what's wrong with that. I don't know why I still got this. I don't know why there's blood in my stool. I don't know why every time I pee I see a little blood. Do you not want to tell them that? Not wanting to tell them the truth about what's really going on with you can actually compromise your life. It really can, because he's giving you medications for the lie you done told, instead, and this making what you really got going on worse. So just be mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? These doctors and nurses aren't out to kill people. They're not out to, you know what I'm saying, let me just go ahead on and give them something to fuck up my license and everything. I done went to schools and internships and shit, and I just want to fuck my shit off. No, they're not doing it like that. No. And actually, they're just aiding in the belly because God is our healer. Okay? He's our provider, our end of the day, our everything. You know what I'm saying? These people are just merely aiding and abetting in your care, making you comfortable. You know what I'm saying? That's all they're doing. But anyway, no less, think about the points that I made on this video on today. Take what you need, incorporate some of it into your decisions, and I promise you it'll turn out all right. I love you. Love you for watching. You guys stay out the way. Deuces. Love you. Bye.